Superman issue 6. Brian Michael Bendis and Ivan Reese on the art, and Connor's taking his headphones off and leaving because he's not even going to listen to the important things that are happening. So this issue that is by and large 2-page splashes, for the vast majority, until Superman gets back to Earth in the last few pages.
Which I like because it sets up the Phantom Zone as this mysterious place, and the format where it's not word bubbles, they're almost paragraphs. Of stuff that's going on.
Or more specifically, it's not narration, but because it's narration rather than dialogue. It's but it's just written into the art. So it's got like a storybook type feel to it.
And I like that, especially with how they're dealing with Zar and Zod, in that these are both enemies of Superman, but who's more villainous here?
Yeah.
And
because a lot of it is a lot of it is the inner monologue from Superman where he's trying to decide like, should I just let these two like kind of destroy each other? Like, is that the right thing to do here? No, I can't. And I actually love when he's like, oh, I'm going to say something that only Bruce, Kara, and someone else have heard him say. I think Diana was the other one.
Diana.
Yeah, and he just yells out for Kandor, as he punches Zar, and then he admits to himself in his inner monologue, that was really for Zod, because Zod doesn't know he did that, and he wants Zod to be angry, and he realizes that that's why he said it, that he wants Zod to be aware of exactly what he's done, and almost to a selfish degree, where he kind of admits that maybe like my intentions there weren't like the most noble thing ever, but I felt like he needed to know that.
But like Clark's thrown everything at Zar. So what else are you going to do? Like, you've tried not fighting him. You've tried fighting him. Like, you're not going to slug it out with him. Whereas Zod is military. He knows tactics and whatnot, and he needs to be a little bit more fired up. So I get why Clark is like disappointed in himself.
Yeah.
Because that's what you want. But at the same time, like, what else was he going to do? He's out of options.
But I like that struggle. I like that this is not an easy choice for him. I think that's what makes it work, is that it's not so much that he's done it or he's not done it. It's that the struggle within and the guilt and the questioning, did I do the right thing, is what makes it work.
And then the guilt towards the end of the issue when he gets pulled out of the Phantom Zone.
Yeah, Adam Strange and the Atom and the Star Labs techies that caused all this problem in the first place pull him out.
And Bendis with the humor going, well, he just admitted to a crime. He's going away.
Yes.
Like, I liked all that.
That's cool. And it's right at a pivotal moment where Superman and Zod are kind of teaming up to fight Rogel. And then Superman gets pulled out. And we see like Zod left in the Phantom Zone is defeated by Zar. Not killed, but is like being dragged. And the Phantom Zone Denzians are all like chanting Zar's name, and Zar's like, no, not me, us. We were, he's basically uniting an army under him in the Phantom Zone.
It's so scary because I can see the world parallels here, right? Is that they're all these terrible people are getting behind a strongman leader, right? So, but I like too that like the guilt of Superman, because he is this child of two worlds, right? Because he's from Krypton, but he was raised on Earth, so he's much an Earth person. I don't know if we say Earthling still, as he is Kryptonian, right?
Well, why not?
But so
Earthling,
when like
sure.
he's like, I got to get back into the Phantom Zone. I got to help Zod, and Adam Strange and the Atom are like, no, we need you here. Like, Earth messed up from this, and they need Superman. Yeah, and so he begrudgingly goes and handles all of these things.
Yeah, because Martian Manhunter calls him and tells him there's all these aftershocks because of the Phantom Zone thing. And what makes this beautiful to me is that he knows that he should stay here, and he knows he should help, because even he says to Adam or whoever, like, you're right. Of course you're right. I should stay here and like deal with all this stuff. But I love the idea that there's guilt here now because he's leaving Zod to deal with it on his own. There's guilt because he's not standing side by side with Zod to defeat this enemy of Krypton. And this is beautifully complex, and it's funny because obviously he's got the Red Cloud in action, he's got Rogozar and Superman, and it's like, okay, clearly Bendis wants to do new villains that he's invented, but that what he's done with Zod here is a really great way of paying respects to one of Superman's greatest like rogues gallery, villains, and it's beautiful.
And we've only seen Luthor once when he interacted with Lois. We haven't even seen Superman and Luthor.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be a big Luthor stuff coming.
Oh yeah.
No
Which
doubt.
he's building to it, which I appreciate. But like you say, that just shows that in bringing in Zod, this is what he's saying about Superman's rogues, right? It's like, yeah, Zod's one of his greatest villains, but that's because they have the philosophical difference of what it means to be Kryptonian.
There's depth
right?
here to this. There's straight up depth here, and I think the beautiful little touch that I love as he's being beaten by Rogol is he sort of mutters to himself, "I had a dream." And it's the dream he had last issue of a united Krypton where the L family, the Zod family, unite and form this new Krypton on this other planet.
Right.
Where they can have this perfect, Kryptonian utopia.
It's almost like Zod's become an anti-hero at this point.
Almost, yeah.
Through Jurgen's like, yeah, he's enslaving people on Jakul, right? But like here he has noble intentions for Krypton. As far as Krypton's concerned, like
I mean,
it's weird.
He's sympathetic here because he's been beat by this guy who at least claims to have committed genocide on Krypton, and the one thing Zod does genuinely care about that he's not lying about is that he cares about a future for Krypton, and it feels like he's being beat by the embodiment of the death of Krypton. So him muttering to himself that I had a dream, this perfect dream of a Krypton, as he's losing, is heartbreaking in a way, and the fact that he's doing that with Zod is impressive, and it adds depth to Zod. It adds depth to Rogol Zar, or not, maybe not even depth. It adds villainous to Rogol Zar.
Yeah,
it makes him more of this force that's even more evil. And I think it's kind of the same effect, almost not maybe to the same extent, but it's kind of similar to how we felt when he smashed Kandor. It was like, whoa, that was dark as shit. This feels like an extension of that.
He's a genocidal maniac. Like that's it. So, but also like. I like that too because Zod was on Krypton, and the only reason he wasn't with it when it went is because he's in the Phantom Zone. So it means so much more to him than it does. Because with Superman, it's always the idea that Krypton was an idea, but for Supergirl and for Zod, Krypton was a place.
I was going to say same as Supergirl. Yeah, she remembers it. It was something. There's memories to her.
Right. So it means not much more. That's why we'll get it to in Supergirl. And it's almost similar to what Zod's doing. So
so that's, and also, I mean, if that's not enough, we'll talk about the final moment in a minute. But I want to say the art is probably the best it's been in this series thus far. Right. These 2-page spreads from Reese were beautiful. The 2-page spread where Zod is just blasting Rogol Zar with his heat vision with everything he's got is glorious.
They almost have a painting quality to them.
They do.
Just with the way that they're colored and the inks and whatnot. Like it's like you can identify it. It is Ivan Reis, but it's also like
it's different.
Special.
It's different to his normal work though. There's this extra. It's almost like because he knew he was doing this. I don't want to say a gimmick issue, but he was doing this concept of an
format.
Issue. Yeah.
The format of the issue.
He spent because I think obviously. Typically, he'll have so many panels and so many pages, and that's so much work. I wonder if there is an element of, because it is just a lot of big, like, single images, he can spend a lot more time in each single image. And because of that, they come out looking like this, where they're just gorgeous, every single page. It's beautiful.
Because I'm looking at it now, and there's that page with Rogol Zar, and it's just him. It's his profile, and he just looks so grotesque.
Yeah.
But then it's the close-up on his eyes, where you have, like, Zod in the blue eye, and he's just full of fury, and then Clark's in the red eye, and he looks so insecure.
Yeah, that's towards the end, and then the page I mentioned with Zod blasting with the heat vision, I'm looking at it right now. There's like fire coming out of Rogol Zar's back, like it's like just like fire and fury just coming
Straight
out of him.
Force.
Yeah. It feels visceral, but at the same time kind of majestic and like godlike, because this is like. No human being can stand around when this is happening. We'd all just be dead. No. This is godlike figures like battling with every ounce of like energy they've got, and it feels apocalyptic.
It's really a Clash of Titans.
Yeah.
Like this is, it's
great. So there you go. And I love that after Superman yells for Kandor, that page afterwards. There's the one with the eyes you were talking about. the top part of it is like because Superman's saying, "Oh, Zar thinks this is funny because it's getting to me." He thinks that he's winning here because I've said that, but because he said it really for Zod because to let him know that something happened. But I love that Zar does look like that. He looks like he's relishing in this, that he's like hurting these Kryptonians. It's glorious. So obviously. The final of the book is after he's saved some people and he's feeling guilty, and he's trying to like figure things out. He wants to get back to Phantom Zone to help Zod. He just stops. This is how great this moment is that Superman stops midair, and the narration box he stopped. There's just a panel where he just stops midair, and you realize it's because he senses something.
Yep.
And he turns around, and the narration box is coming back, and the final page, of course, is John, who's back on Earth. And because Clark was just thinking about how Jor-El must have some answers because Zar implied that Jor-El knew about some of what was going on.
Yeah.
And of course in Supergirl we find out that Zor-El might have also known about certain things. So John shows up, who of course was with Jor-El for the last bit of time. He has been aged up, he's got a new outfit. Obviously we're concerned about what they might do with John. We'll see next time. But this is just the reveal that he's back.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it because he still looks like John. Like this is just a more mature.
Yeah, he's like 15, 16 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, which if this sticks, right, and it's not just like Yellow Sun energy and whatnot that's done this, him gloating over Damian.
Unless everyone hates it, I feel like it probably will, and he'll just be like this age now for a long time.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
otherwise they'll retcon it as quickly as they can once
done. But like him gloating over Damian that he's older now because he went out to space and whatnot, like
wormholes
I can see
and
that.
Shit. Timey-wimey wormholes.
Yeah, so but yeah, I mean it's still though his suit looks like John, and he's not showing up and attacking the city as some covers would have you believe. So everyone just needs to calm down. Yeah. But I'm excited to see this.
Nah, Bendis put some tweets where he was joking about how everyone just always assumes he's going to ruin everything, and everyone's assuming that John's going to be a murderous Superboy Prime-esque figure, and he's just kind of like relishing in it. So
again, until Bendis has proved me wrong, where oh no, he did ruin something. Everything he's doing at Superman, I have an open mind with. So. Which is very hard for me.
He's not
I like to make snap judgments.
I think for both of us, we're in this position where, so far in Superman in action, he's not followed. Like he's not done anything that we've flat out been like, no, this bothers us what he's doing here. I think the closest we've came is the issue with Lois where she was saying "baby" too much. The dialogue fell a bit off. So, but yeah. So let's rate this so Cora can jump back in for a book in a second. What are you giving it, Matt?
That was a 9.5. It had it all for me.
I'll give it a 9. Straight 9 for me.